Hello my friends, today we are photographing a bottle of gin. It's this bottle of Tanqueray, and we will be taking this photo. And edit it in Lightroom and Photoshop. So let's get started. I already picked the background. As you can see, I chose a green background because we have a green bottle and I thought that would go nice. And what I need to do now is clean my surface and my bottle. Now I am using a black plexiglass, and in preparation for this shot, what I did is I removed the sticker that was in the back of the bottle, the label that was here, because we will be shooting light through the bottle and I don't want that sticker to show up. So I left the front sticker, but I removed the one in the back. All right, let's clean this, guys, and let's get started. I will clean my plexiglass, and I'm just using glass cleaner for this. And then make sure we clean our bottle as well. Something like that. Now I am going to position it somewhere over here. And on the back, I have set up light. Let me just take a quick video with my phone to show you. On the back, I have an AD200 strobe light with a little diffuser kind of cone modifier. So that's what we would be using to create that glow in the background. So let's frame our shot. And this bottle needs to rotate a little bit. The label is not straight into the camera. And let's take a shot with just the background light. The background light is on. I don't have any other lights. We will work as usual. We work backwards to forward. So we'll start with the background and then we'll add lights until we get to the front. So what do we have? We have our background light. I think I need to move it a little bit further from the background because the top part of the background, it's too dark. It's almost black and I want some color through the whole background. Let's take another shot. And that's pretty good. Now what I want to do is I want to put a lot of light on the background, and I want this light from the background to bounce back into my bottle and really make that bottle glow. So I need a light for that. So for that, I will be using another AD200. And let's see. I'm going to put this on a 5-second delay. And I am just going to go and point it at the background. Let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty good on the bottle. Maybe it's a little bit too bright. Let's try another one. Maybe take it from further away. Let's see now. And that gives us a nice, beautiful glow inside the bottle. I like that. That is good. The background doesn't look good, but that's okay, because we already have different picture for the background. Great, so now we have the highlights on the side, we have the background lights, we need to light up the label. For that, I will just be using a 5-in-1 diffuser, just like this, and I'll use a speed light and just shoot it from the top, pointing down. So let's do this. I don't need the side light for this. Let's see if this looks good. And that is good. I think we have all the pictures we need. Now let's go to the computer and edit it, put it all together. And here we are into Lightroom. This is the 4 exposures we will work with. This was our base exposure. Then we have some of the glow. You see the glow is mostly on the right side here. Then we have a little bit of the left side. And then we have the image for the label and the cap. So this is the images we will work with. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of edit of this image, like the overall image. I want to just brighten maybe a tiny little bit, add a little bit of contrast, maybe tag down the highlights a little bit, open the shadows. No, the shadows, I'll leave them where they are. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, just add a little bit of texture and maybe some clarity. And let's see, some sharpening, not too much, just a little bit. And that's all I'm gonna do for the main image. And then for the label, I did, it's looking bright, but I want it to be a little bit brighter. So for this one, I will just do a couple of edits just for the label. So I'm going to increase the white, something like that. I make sure I am not blowing up the highlights into the label. Let's see, something like that. Bring down the blacks because I want to keep the writing black. And then add some texture, add some clarity, and do some sharpening. And this is for the label. Now that I have all those 4 images, I want to click on the first one, click on the last one holding Shift, then I'll go to Photo, Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. And now that we are in Photoshop, here are the things that I need to do. I need to, let's move the base exposure to the bottom. So I have the base exposure, and then from there, let me move these layers around a little bit. From there, I need to add that glow in the middle with these 2 layers. And then from the last layer, I need to get the label and this red seal and work on the cap a little bit. In order, before we do any kind of edits, I want to select all 4 images and go to Edit and Auto Align. And also, I want to change the background color. Even though it's green and my product is green, it's just not the right kind of green. We need to match the background color to our, product. So we'll also do that. It's going to be a lot of masking, a lot of, doodling around, but we will make it work. All right, I'm going to turn off these layers and start with the glow. I'm going to turn on the first layer, and you see we have this glow in the bottle. And I'm going to make a negative mask, a black mask. Hold down Option, click on the mask. Now with a brush, very soft brush, make sure the hardness is at 0. Painting with white, I'm going to just paint a little bit onto this right side, something like that. And that will bring some of that light inside. Now that is a little bit too bright, so I'll reduce the opacity to something like that. Then I will turn on the next layer, and this is the glow on the left side. I will make a negative mask for this one as well. Hold down Option, click on the mask, and then with the white brush, I will paint a little bit onto this side. Something like that. And I'll also take the opacity a little bit down. And there you go, that is our glow inside the bottle. So let's see, we started with that, and now we have that. Now it's time to mask in the label and this seal. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to click on the layer, and then I'm going to zoom in, hold down Z, click on this 100 to see it at 100%. And what I will use for this is this curvature pen tool. And this is going to make it very easy for me to mask this seal, because this tool wants to work in a curvature way, makes curves. So especially when you have something round or with curves, it just makes it really easy. You just click, click, click. If you need to adjust points, you can drag them and adjust them. You can delete them. You can add points, like you can just click on it and add a point, and then continue with your path until you close the path. And I need to make one more point over here. There you go. Now I right click on it and go make selection. Make sure the feather radius is 0.5 and click OK. And now I will click on the mask. And that is the opposite of what I want. I want it to be a white on black mask, so I do Command I to, invert it. So there you go. Now we masked that seal. So you see if I turn this on and off, before and after. That is looking great. Now let's deal with this label. For the label, I could use the same tool, or I will show you a new tool that you might like. Another tool, if you're not, handy with the pen tool and you just want something that you could do if you're a very beginner, it would be onto the lasso, go to magnetic lasso tool. And this one, you click on it, and then as you drag, it makes points, and it, just like the name says, magnetically attaches to the edge of your whatever finds contrast. So whoops, I went over there, so just go delete, delete, delete to remove those points. And with the space bar, you can move the image around. Then go back to your point and just, you see, I went a little bit off there. That's why I like the curvature pen tool. I feel like it's a little bit easier, but this one, sometimes it could be useful. I especially use this one if I photograph, let's say, a can that has condensation on it and it has those droplets of water. Sometimes it's hard to, select those droplets of water with just a pen tool. So that's where this one, it just, kind of attaches to things and makes it a little bit easier. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Keep going around it. I'm just using the mouse to, oops. Let's move around and click here. There you go. Once you made the selection, here you want to go into select, modify, and then feather, and you want to apply that 0.5 feather, 0.5. Click OK. And now that we have a selection, all we need to do is get our brush with white and just paint into it. And now we are revealing that white label from this layer. Command D to deselect. Let's zoom in again so we see what we did. And it's looking great. Now we also need to, brighten this label over here. So for this one, I will use the curvature pen tool just because this is the one that I'm used to it and it just, works for me. You can use whatever tool you want. For the curvature pen tool, you see when it wants to make a curve and you need it to be a straight corner, just hold down Option, click on that point, and that will make it so it's not a curved point. And click, click, click. That's how you make the selection. There we go. Right click, make selection. Okay. And now let's Command 0. And with the brush, we will, you see our marching ends are on the outside. That means we're actually selecting everything but the label. So we need to invert this. Go to select, go inverse. And now we can paint with white and brighten that label, just like that. Command D to deselect. So what else? Maybe I want to brighten just a little bit of this cap over here. So let's go select that one as well. I am going to use the magnetic one for this one. And let's see if we can make an accurate selection. All right. And then we will go to select, modify, feather. Click OK. And let's see. With the brush, with white, this time I don't want to make it as bright as it was. I'm just going to use like maybe 29% opacity. And even that is too much. I'm going to do Command Z. Let's see. Maybe I'll use a flow of 8%. And there you go, that's better. Just a little bit of brightening. I don't want to make it too bright. Command D to deselect, Command 0 to fit to screen. Great, everything is looking good. Now we need to change the background color and we need to do a little bit of retouching. You know, we have things that might need to be fixed a little bit. Before I do that, I will crop the image because I do have some of those empty pixels there. And I will go for something maybe something like that. And I will click OK. I'll accept those changes. And now I will show you how to change the color of the background. First, as you probably guessed it, we need to select the bottle from the background. So I will do a stamp layer over here. I'll do Command Option Shift E. And this will make, it's a picture of everything we've done underneath. You see, even if I turn off all the other layers, we have the same image because that's what the stamp layer is. And on this layer, I want to select the bottle. For that, I will be using the curvature pen tool. I'm going to zoom in at 100% and I will start from over here. And just move my way slowly, trying to make an accurate as of a selection that I can. And for this one, please take your time and try to make really good selection because it will make a big difference in the end result. And after we are done making the selection, make sure you go to select and inverse. And with the bottle selected, now we can go Command J to put this on its own layer. Then we'll go back to the bottle with the background, and it's time to change the color of the background. To do so, I will go to my brush tool, hold down Option, and take a sample of this color over here. And then I will just make a solid color adjustment layer, just like that. Now, of course, that looks terrible, and that is because we need to change the blending mode from normal to color. And now our background very nicely matches the color of our product. This is great. Now, there's a few other little things we need to do, like, fix these spots and, whatever little touch-ups it needs to be done. For that, I can just use the healing brush and just go through it. And that will fix that. And, go around it. I'm not going to do the whole edit now just because I feel like that will be a little bit boring, but I want to show you a couple of other things that you'll probably need to fix when you do your edit. And let's see, some of them might be due to your selection here. If we go close to the edge, you see I do have these lines in here and stuff, and that's just the light the way it was, but I want it to be nice clean image. So what I need to do is make a selection of the bottle, which I already have made the selection here. To load selection out of your image that you put on your own background, hold down Command and click on it. And now we made the selection of the bottle, and this makes it so easy because now I can use the clone stamp tool and of course make it smaller. And then I can just pick a color from here, from this black portion. I can just go around and clone everything that I don't like the way it looks. If I don't want this green tint over here, I can just sample from right next to it and just, touch it up. And the reason why we want to load that selection is because now you see I cannot go outside the line. I am staying within my selection. So that helps me to, not go wrong and do something that will affect my background. So you just go around and, clean these edges, make sure everything looks the way you want it. Just like that. Just sample from right next to it and, get rid of the unwanted things. And just like that, you will go all around the bottle. Then, there's little spots in here. You can take care of those too. The easiest way for those is to use the healing brush tool. Make the brush smaller, just a little bit bigger than your spots. And there you go. Those are easy to take care of. Now, there's also some imperfections over here. If we zoom in, you can see we have some stuff going on in there. The way I would fix these ones is maybe take this patch tool and just remove the whole part here and replace it with the one on top. And that is not going to be perfect, as you can see, but then you can use the clone stamp tool and just keep working on it until it looks right to you. Sometimes to blend them better, I will take the flow down to like 27%, let's say. And now, when you blend them, it just looks a little bit better. And after about 30 more minutes of touch-ups and retouching, and I toned down the background color a little bit because I felt like it was too bright, we ended up with this final image. And as you can see, the edges are nice and clear. There's no imperfections. I cleaned all of those, went, through the whole image and made sure everything looks nice and tidy with no imperfections. I hope this was helpful to you and you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skyler Ewing. I'll see you in my next video.